Hey everybody, I'm going to take you through a little tour of my greenhouse and the damage that was done this winter to guanabanas and other trees I have. The guanabana is also called a soursop. And being from Miami, I was able to grow it there. It's probably, I don't know, one of the most delicious fruits I've ever had. And it's very hard to buy, and if you can find it, it's expensive. Alright, so here's one of the guanabana trees I had in the pot. And you could see it grew pretty big. This one's about 3 years old. And I'm going to start cutting off all the dead branches. You'll see it's brown there. And I'm trying to find where it's green. Now, there is new growth coming up. These trees tend to have a deciduous characteristic, at least for a tropical tree. Like if you're in Miami, Florida, for example, like a zone 10, when wintertime comes through, they will drop all of their leaves, but in springtime will flush with new leaves and these yellow flowers that turn into fruits. So it's kind of unique in that regard for being a tropical tree. If it experiences any type of cold front in the season of winter. But yeah, I'm pruning back, and you can see it's starting to turn green there. So this part of the tree is alive. And next winter, I'm gonna heat the greenhouse with water mist from my artesian well, because the water comes out at like 70 degrees. And I did that the prior years, not really with the mist, but on the colder nights when it was in the lower 30s or lower than that. I did that, and I didn't have any dieback with any of these potted trees, but this year I got a little lazy with it, and it really affected the jackfruit, the guanabana, and what else do I have? I have an unknown. The unknown's not really that happy though. I got a couple of them in pots, but they're really sensitive tropical plants, and the bananas too. I mean, the bananas still fruited and grew, but they started dying off towards like February and winter, like showing signs of death. You can see this was a guanabana. This one died. It was probably 2 feet tall, but it has pepper plants growing in the back corner, so it's not a complete loss. There's a couple bananas, some babies. And here's the other guanabanas I have. And it's the same thing, I cut them back. They have some new growth popping out. And my goal up here in North Florida is to eat fresh guanabanas, and I'm going to make it happen. I'm going to repot these things, put them in bigger pots, and just be more vigilant during wintertime. I'll succeed. I'm already succeeding with the mango tree, but the mango is not as sensitive. I mean, they say like, oh, if it gets below freezing, it could damage them. But when you have it covered in a greenhouse, even if it's freezing outside, and technically even on the inside, there's something about the humidity in there that keeps them happy. Now, if it starts getting any lower than freezing, like once you start approaching the upper 20s, it's best to put heat in there. And I didn't do it this winter, and we had one night where it got down to maybe 28 or 27 outside of the greenhouse. And the greenhouse, I would imagine it was all day, 35 or so degrees in there. And it didn't affect the mango tree one bit. So I was very happy with that. You can see, yeah, there's some green there. And that was the biggest one. That one was like, oh man, 5 feet tall. Let me show you a picture of that. You can see it there in the far left, in the front. It's pretty tall. It's bushed down on the top. Yeah, that one I was hoping to get fruit off of this year, but it might be another year or two out from being successful with guanabanas. You can see here, that's the unknown. It's never really been truly happy, but I'm going to continue growing it. You can see the papaya there. I'm going to take a leaf off, and I'm going to show you my tilapia pond. I got about 25, 30 tilapias in there that I've cast netted from the wild. I think they're the blue tilapias. I'm trying to grow them. And down there I have a moringa tree. I knocked it down because it was getting too tall, and I left it there, and it's still producing moringas, so I'm just going to leave it there. When I say moringas, I mean the leaves, and it has flowers too, but I'm just saving it as a food source for the fish now, and I'm very happy to keep it for that reason. So I'll just keep it on the ground there and have it growing moringa leaves. Why not? Here's the old papaya forest that bit the dust. It's growing back though. There's a lot of new growth on the bottom, but I'll have a future video showing that. Here's some tomatoes that have popped up, and the ground here is very rich. It has all kinds of chop and drop and just a lot of buildup, so it's very good. I need to pull some weeds though. And here we go. Here's a tilapia pond. I'm gonna throw the papaya leaves and moringa in there, and they've been eating it. And I have this thing fed from my artesian well without a pump. It just has a natural pressure to it, which is a cool feature when you're in these regions in North Florida. The well is about 400 feet deep, and it taps into a vein that has pressure, like a hydraulic pressure from, I don't know, somewhere 50 miles away or whatever. When it rains, it enters into the bedrock, and then it pressurizes the ground. So essentially it's a spring. You're tapped into spring water, and it, it comes out probably at 5 psi. But I have it entering the pool and then exiting into the yard. I even got a little shut-off valve. And inside the swimming pool, I put in a shower pan drain, so I can control that. And if all the water starts draining out, I have that pipe about knee high, so it won't kill the fish if something's off balance there. Here we go. Let's see. There's a papaya leaf on the bottom. You could see that they've been eating it. And after they sink, they last a couple days, and then they eat them. I imagine that one will be gone by tonight. But there's the tilapias just hanging out. They're a little skittish, but it's going to be interesting. In about 8 months, they should all be a pound or so and start reproducing as well. So I have $0 invested into this project. That was a swimming pool we bought, and we just haven't been using it, so I was like, grow some fish in there for fun. Here's some duckweed I'm trying to multiply. I did throw a bunch of it inside the pond, and all the tilapias ate it all. There's a couple pieces still floating, but I need to get more of that because that's more of a natural food source for them. And it's easy to find up here. I just go to a marina where there's lily pads, and it's all in there. Here's the trench going back to the wetland. I just kind of run the lawnmower wheel through it as I'm driving, and it just keeps it as a little trench slash canal where it just drains very slowly all the way out to the woods. You can see here's the pawpaw patch I'm starting, but I'll get back to that. Let me show you the woods back here. There's just so many different types of plants back in these woods, ferns and little trees and all kinds of things. I have thought about digging a pond back here, but I don't want to get in trouble. Even though I own all that land, since it's a wetland, you're not supposed to mess with it. So I leave it alone. But back to the pawpaw patch. So you can see a couple mounds there that have hay on the top. And I got a baby here. It's starting to come back from its sleep in the winter. And these are like the mangoes of the South. And I want to establish more of them. I just ordered 10 bare root pawpaws online for $35. And it's such a good deal. And they're all genetically different. And I ordered them from a South region. So I'm trying to get the ones that require the least amount of chill hours, since this is the more southern region that they'll survive in. And you're supposed to grow them in a shady area semi-shady. They don't like too much sun when they're young, but as they mature, they like some sun. But I figure if I got, I don't know, 12 of them back here growing, something's gonna happen eventually. So I'll have them behind my citrus plants, more in the shade. I'd like to put them there, some along the fence line and some out in the open back there. I'll have to build them up a little bit. Eventually I'm going to build a proper greenhouse, and it's just going to cost some money and a little bit of time. But for right now, I've been using a Harbor Freight carport and wrapping it in plastic the last 5 years, and it's worked out pretty good overall. I mean, you could see, you know, a key lime there, a mango behind it with tremendous amounts of flowers. I'm definitely getting mangoes this year. Last year was the first year it flowered and fruited, but what's typical with young trees is you'll get fruit drop, and that's what happened last year. I mean, the fruits got maybe, I don't know, silver dollar sized at the biggest, maybe 5 of them, and they all dropped. You can see the banana there. The fruits are still ripening. They're not the best looking, but the tree really took a beating over the winter. There's a tomato that's popping up and flowering. But yeah, I mean, you could see a big difference between like papayas and pineapple, mango, and then like bananas, guanabana, and jackfruit. Like this jackfruit down here, this was one I had in the ground, and it died back all the way to the main trunk, and it has new growth coming on. And I'm not giving up on that either, but that may be, I don't know, the guanabanas and jackfruit may be a lost cause. But I'll keep trying, and I'll be documenting it. Everybody take care. Thanks for doing this tour with me. I had all my own background music, and this is one I'm working on. Please like and subscribe, and enjoy the rest of the drums moving forward and music. Take care.